Hi all, my name is Noorzawani Binti Mohamad Imran. My OUM ID is 9505200753800001. I'm currently studying in Bachelor in Communication with Honours. I want to deliver a persuasive speech titled Women for Education. I would like to express my gratitude to the University Councillor for giving me the opportunities to speak on behalf of all students today. Thanks to my parents who support me to education. They provided me with the knowledge since I was 4. They were my very first teachers and I am very thankful for that. Thank you to all educators here for fighting to provide education for all. Thank you for all fathers and mothers for being here. Seeing you makes me realize how important education is for your children, especially for your daughters. For today's speech, I would like to congratulate all women students for being here today. It shows how the importance of education has reached most of the women in this country. Please, round of applause. Congratulate yourself, please. I remember when I was 14, it was my prime years of having friends around me. I wanted to play until late in the night before going to bed. It was when my mother came and nagged about how lazy I was. She always nagged about her past for not having the advantage of accessing to education. So I always talked back saying, why is it important for me to be educated? And that's when my mother would say that education is what makes a man. Dear students, education may be hard. However, you are the rightful owner of the knowledge you pursue. For women who pursue knowledge, it literally means you are battling between life and death. That is how important education is for women. Back then, university learning shows weaknesses in their systems. There is exclusion for women members in university administrations, exclusion of women as committee members, and of course none of the women voices reach to the top. Now, in this century, a lot has changed. There are feminists like Adrienne Rich and Malala Yousafzai who fought for women's rights to education. Their voices have been heard and it changed the education policies around the world. We are thankful for their efforts. However, the glass ceiling still exists in some countries that prevents women from achieving what they deserve. I believe many of us have found ourselves poring eagerly over books with titles like The Descent of Man, Man and His Symbols, Irrational Man, or Malay books such as Lelaki Sebagai Ketua Keluarga, which means man as the head of the family, and Kuasa Lelaki Sebagai Ketua Negara, which means man's power as nation's leaders. These books camouflage behind human reality, which conveniently neglect half of all humanity. Less than a century ago, the rebirth of a feminist movement started to claim a women-directed education. Despite backlash and budget cuts, women are still growing, amassing knowledge, having a fresh vision of human experiences, and critically evaluating what they hear and read in their daily life. The rights of women to education means a great responsibility. Women, being a wife and mother, never sit in passive silence when they are being wronged. They strive and speak their rights. Responsibility to yourselves means refusing to let others do your thinking and talking. It means to respect and use your wisdom and instincts. It means understanding that for economic and intimate security, you do not need to give up your body. And if you treat your body as an object, your minds will be in mortal danger. I believe, even with all the changes that has happened in the past century, with capable women doing a tremendous job at key and important leadership positions, there are still debates over women's ability to think and take leadership roles in and outside universities. and as far as to whether they are fit to be the ruler of the country. Many educators that are trained in male-centric educations still handing out the ideas that women are a class lower than men. Too often, we fail to teach the most important thing, that critical thinking, active discussions, and excellent writings are all essentials in having intellectual freedom, and that these require hard work. Many of us, women or men, fail to realize that women want to become someone in the society and that women want to be treated fairly as men. A century ago, women were being forced to get married right after they reached their puberty. They are being told to fulfill the responsibility of being a daughter to a wife. Often, this is a way for the family to get out of poverty. I remember my grandmother who excelled in her class but unable to further her studies because she was told that education belongs to men, while women should stay in the kitchen and care for the families. The rights of women and men for education are very much equal. Education and knowledge means seeking out criticism and recognizing that the most affirming things others can give is to show you the range of things that you can do. It means rejecting the attitudes of, you will probably get married anyway, why bother to study, or maybe women are meant to be in the kitchen. The student, this is the contract of the student's part. A student needs to be taken seriously for them to show their ability and range of knowledge they have. And that the student is active in school, showing ongoing struggles for education. But for her to do this, the teacher must have mutual understanding of men and women's rights to education. They must be committed to believe that women's minds are equal to that of the men. This contract is really a pledge of seriousness about women, languages, ideas, methods, and values. It is our shared commitment to make sure that women's minds will no longer be wasted, raveled away, paralyzed, or denied. Standing here today, I talked about women's rights to education, their responsibilities, and their worth. But I hope, after I step down from this stage, you will start to act and show the world your worth as women. And for men, I hope that you will never prevent women from accessing to education. I hope that my words have reached your hearts and it teaches you values of education. Thank you.